Have you ever looked at someone and wondered how they stay so calm while life throws chaos at them? How they smile while their world quietly falls apart inside? Maybe you've met a Taurus, or maybe you are one. Here's a surprising truth. Taurus is not as simple as people think. Behind their calm face is a hidden world, a world of silent strength, of emotional battles no one else sees, of fears, desires, and deep psychological patterns. Most people misunderstand Taurus. They think they're stubborn, cold, too quiet. But today, we're going to explore the real reason why Taurus is one of the most secretly envied signs of the zodiac. What makes them so powerful? Why do people trust them, fear them, and wish they could be like them? In this video, we'll dive deep. We'll reveal the emotional layers, the mental strategies, and the hidden power that Taurus carries every single day. This is not just about astrology. It's about understanding the human heart, the human mind, and maybe understanding yourself. So, if you're ready to discover the truth behind Taurus energy, stay with me until the end. Trust me, you'll see them in a whole new way. And hey, if you're curious about your own zodiac sign, or just love deep conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let's dive in. Have you ever wondered why some people carry a quiet strength? The kind of presence that doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard, that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Taurus people have that strength. But what's more interesting is how they build it, and why most of us envy it, even if we don't realize. Think about someone who rarely complains, who faces life's storms, but still shows up every morning, steady and calm. It's not because life is easier for them, it's because they've mastered the art of silent endurance. Taurus doesn't need external validation. Their power comes from within, from an inner voice that says, "Keep going." No one needs to know how much it hurts. Everyone's Sefri and Saloting 70s, the Sada Brethrid done it. The Sada Brethrid done it. This is the first hidden secret of Taurus. Their strength doesn't scream, it whispers. And that is far more powerful. But why? Why do they choose silence over reaction? In psychology, there's something called emotional regulation. It's the ability to control how we react, especially under pressure. Taurus people are masters at this, not because they don't feel pain, but because losing control terrifies them. Inside, they crave stability, predictability, emotional safety. Chaos feels dangerous. That's why their silence isn't weakness, it's protection. Imagine a person standing in the middle of a storm, rain, wind, everything crashing around them. Yet they're still, holding their ground, letting the storm pass. That's Taurus energy. You might never see the storm inside them, but trust me, it's there. And that leads us to something deeper. Each morning, Taurus wakes up with a plan. Maybe not written down, maybe not even clear to others, but inside, they know what they're building. Every day is a step forward, not in big leaps, but in quiet, consistent actions. Whether it's working towards a goal, building a career, or protecting their family, Taurus approaches life like a gardener. Patient, careful, focused on long-term growth. They don't need excitement, they need progress. And that's something we often forget in today's world. A world obsessed with speed, instant success, overnight transformations. Taurus reminds us that real success is slow, and that's okay. But life isn't always smooth. And here's where Taurus surprises people. What happens when they're betrayed? You might expect anger, tears, confrontation. But Taurus does something most people can't. They stay calm, at least on the surface. When someone hurts them, Taurus rarely reacts immediately. They pause, they observe, they wait. Not because they don't care, but because they refuse to let someone else control their emotions. In psychology, we call this delayed response. It's a sign of deep emotional maturity. While others explode, Taurus stays silent. waiting for facts, waiting for clarity. They want the truth before reacting. Think about it. How many times have you said something in anger and regretted it? Taurus tries to avoid that. They choose to stay grounded, even when everything inside them screams. But make no mistake, that silence is not forgiveness. Taurus remembers. They process betrayal slowly, carefully, not to seek revenge, but to protect themselves better in the future. It's their way of saying, I won't let this happen again. This calm reaction makes people admire them and secretly envy them. Because staying composed when your heart breaks, that's something most of us struggle with. Now, let's talk about decisions. You might notice Taurus people seem slow to act. Not because they're unsure, but because they're calculating, strategic. Before they move, they need to understand every possible outcome. It's like chess. They don't move the first piece until they've seen the whole board. Their patience is not laziness, it's wisdom. Imagine being able to pause, to think, to choose wisely. While everyone else rushes forward, Taurus waits. And when they act, they often succeed. In astrology, Taurus is an earth sign. And like the earth, they are stable, solid, grounded. While others fly in different directions, Taurus stays connected to reality. That's why their decisions often lead to long-term results. Now, why should you care about all this? Because in a world full of noise, Taurus teaches us the value of quiet strength. Maybe you're someone who feels too emotional, too reactive, or maybe you rush decisions, chasing results that never last. Taurus shows us there's another way, a way where silence is strength, where patience is power, where staying calm, even when betrayed, can protect your heart, and where every small, steady step builds something real. So next time you feel the urge to react, pause. Next time life feels like chaos, ground yourself. And next time you think someone is too quiet, too slow, remember, that might just be their power. Because sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who never show how much they're fighting inside. Sometimes in life, people will try to push you down. They might make you feel small. They might treat you as if your worth depends on their approval. And yet, Taurus never lets that happen to them. When someone tries to belittle them, Taurus doesn't explode. They don't seek revenge. They do something much more powerful. They stand tall. They look that person in the eye and with quiet confidence remind them of their own worth. Not through harsh words, but through simple, calm actions. That's the thing about Taurus. They don't need to fight to prove who they are. Their self-respect is carved deep inside them, like stone. In psychology, we often talk about self-worth as something fragile, something that breaks easily when others attack it. But Taurus shows us another way. For them, self-worth is not a reaction, it's a foundation. Even when criticized, even when humiliated, Taurus holds their ground, not because they don't feel hurt, but because they refuse to let others control their value. Maybe you've experienced that. Maybe you've let someone else's opinion define you. If so, remember Taurus, you are worth more than someone else's words, and that's not the only lesson they carry. Taurus is realistic, not in a cold, emotionless way, but in a practical, grounded sense. They see things for what they are, not what they wish them to be. While some people get lost in dreams, hoping for miracles, Taurus builds their life step by step, brick by brick. They know that dreams without actions remain empty. That's why they ask simple questions every day. What can I do? What's real? What's possible now? This approach protects them. It shields them from disappointment. Taurus doesn't chase impossible goals just because they sound exciting. They focus on what matters, on what's stable, on what's true. Think about your own life. How often do you chase illusions? How often do you ignore the facts because hope feels easier than reality? Taurus can teach us something here. They remind us to plant our feet on the ground, even when our mind wants to escape. Being realistic isn't giving up on your dreams. it's building them wisely. And yet, behind that calm and practical exterior, Taurus holds memories. Deep, detailed memories. If you've ever wronged a Taurus, trust me, they remember. Not because they're bitter, not because they're vengeful, but because every experience, every betrayal, leaves a mark. Taurus doesn't forget who hurt them, and they don't forget why. Their mind records it, stores it, not to punish others, but to protect themselves, to avoid future pain. In psychology, this is called emotional safeguarding. It's a survival tool. When someone burns you once, your mind keeps that memory close. To remind you, Taurus lives this every day. They remember not to reopen doors that once led to pain. They remember who broke their trust, and they choose carefully who to let close. This is why many Taurus people seem cautious or slow to trust. But it's not fear, it's wisdom, learned from past wounds. Now, think about that person in your life. The one who always seemed guarded. The one who pulled back, even when you thought everything was fine. Maybe they're just like Taurus, protecting their heart by remembering. And yet, despite this sharp memory, Taurus craves something simple, something rare: authenticity. Winning their heart isn't about gifts or fancy gestures. It's about being real. Taurus doesn't want a perfect image. They want a real person. Someone honest. Someone who's not afraid to show their flaws. Someone who stands beside them without pretending to be someone else. This might sound simple, but it's not. In today's world, people wear masks. We hide our true feelings. We try to impress, but Taurus can see through that. They sense when someone's pretending, and nothing pushes them away faster. What draws Taurus closer is sincerity, the kind that says, "This is who I am." No filters, no performances. This rules, in the signs of canon. Dearest Sperry, if you've ever wondered why a Taurus pulled away from you, maybe you were trying too hard. Maybe you were showing them what you thought they wanted, instead of showing them who you really are. Remember, for Taurus, connection isn't about being perfect, it's about being honest. Let them see your truth. That's when they feel safe. That's when their guarded heart begins to open. Because Taurus isn't searching for someone extraordinary, they're searching for someone authentic, and that's a lesson we all need. In love, in friendships, in life. Let people see who you are, not the version you think they'll like. Because someone out there, maybe even a Taurus, is waiting for the real you. Now, as we journey deeper, get ready. The final 3 insights about Taurus reveal the most controversial, most hidden, and most emotionally charged truths of all. Stay with me. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Have you ever felt that deep craving for peace? Not just silence, but emotional peace. A kind of stability where your heart feels safe. For Taurus, that's not a desire, it's a need, a life rule. Something they build their entire world around. Taurus people will do anything to protect their stability. In relationships, in work, in everyday life. They are constantly building walls of security around their emotions, around their future, around their loved ones. It's not because they're cold, it's because they know what chaos feels like, and they refuse to live in it. Imagine someone who works every day not just to earn money, but to buy emotional safety. That's Taurus. When they love fully. When they commit, they give everything. But only after they're sure the foundation is strong. Taurus doesn't fall in love with possibilities. They fall in love with reality. If you're in their life, know this: they chose you carefully. They invested in you not out of impulse, but out of trust. Now, here's something you might not know. When Taurus feels insecure, they don't hide it. Unlike many signs who bury their feelings or fake a smile, Taurus will tell you. Straight, simple, honest. If they feel jealous, they'll let you know. If they feel threatened, they won't pretend everything's fine. Why? Because their need for stability is stronger than their fear of vulnerability. Taurus doesn't believe in emotional games, they believe in clarity. In relationships, this can feel intense, but it's also refreshing. You never have to guess where you stand. They'll tell you. Not to control you. Not to make you feel guilty. But because they need to fix whatever is shaking their sense of peace. This is a lesson we can all learn. How many times have you stayed silent, letting insecurity eat you from the inside? Taurus shows us that speaking up isn't weakness, it's self-protection. Their emotional honesty might surprise you, but it's their way of saying, I care about this connection, and I care enough to protect it. And this leads us to another truth. Taurus rarely rushes into decisions. They think, they plan, they analyze, not because they're slow, but because they're careful, logical. In psychology, we call this cognitive deliberation. Taurus uses it like a life tool. Every choice is measured, every risk is weighed. They don't trust promises made in passion, they trust what makes sense. Picture this. Two people stand at a crossroads. One jumps without looking, hoping for the best. The other pauses, looks around, checks every path, then walks forward slowly but surely. That second person? That's Taurus. And when you watch from a distance, it might look like hesitation, but in the long run, they often reach the destination first, because they didn't waste time fixing mistakes. Taurus makes decisions like building a house. They want strong walls, not flashy decorations, so they think long before they act. This logical approach can frustrate people who expect fast answers. But for Taurus, being careful is a form of respect. They don't want to hurt others, and they don't want to harm themselves, so they choose wisely. And then there's love. Real love. Taurus isn't just loyal. They're attentive. Once they choose you, you become part of their inner world, and they'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistency. The little things, remembering your favorite coffee, checking if you made it home safely, cooking your favorite meal after a hard day. While other people might think of relationships as a mix of passion and excitement, Taurus sees love as responsibility, not in a heavy, burdensome way, but in a gentle, steady rhythm. They think, if I love you, I care for you. Every day, not just when I feel like it. It's easy to admire this, and many people do. But here's the catch. Taurus will only give this level of care if they feel safe. If they trust that you're not going to shatter their stability. This is why they seem slow to open up. Why they test people without you even realizing. They're not testing your loyalty, they're testing your consistency. If you can show up, if you can be real, if you can offer peace instead of drama, Taurus will open their heart. And when they do, their love feels like home. Now, as we move closer to the end of this journey, stay with me, because the final insights about Taurus will reveal their most intense emotions, their hidden struggles, and the surprising truth about the anger they try so hard to hide. You won't expect what's coming next. Have you ever looked at someone and thought they weren't paying attention, only to realize later they noticed everything? That's Taurus. They may seem quiet, maybe even distant, but don't let that fool you. Taurus doesn't miss a thing. They watch. They listen. They process in silence. It's not because they're shy or disconnected, it's because they believe in understanding before reacting. Imagine sitting at a table with friends, sharing stories. Laughter fills the room, and there's that one person, just listening, calm, smiling softly. You think they're not involved, but later, they recall every detail you shared. They knew when you hesitated. They noticed when your voice cracked. That's the power of Taurus. Their silence is not distance, it's awareness. They're gathering information, not to use against you, but to understand you better. In psychology, we call this observational processing, and Taurus uses it like a quiet strength. While others rush to speak, Taurus waits. They let people reveal themselves, they let situations unfold, and only when the time is right, they act. This isn't manipulation, it's patience, it's wisdom. And there's something else. Taurus avoids unnecessary arguments. Not because they're afraid of conflict, but because they know something most people forget. Not every battle needs to be fought. Some things are better left alone. Have you ever found yourself in a heated debate, only to realize later it didn't matter? Taurus already knows that in the moment. They choose peace. They choose silence. They know their energy is precious. They won't waste it on meaningless disagreements. When someone tries to provoke them, Taurus often walks away. Not because they're weak, but because they value their inner peace more than being right. This is emotional intelligence at work. The ability to recognize which battles matter and which ones only drain you. Taurus lives this every day. It doesn't mean they never stand up for themselves. When the situation truly matters, Taurus speaks, but when it's just noise, they let it pass. Like a river flowing around a stone, they let the words slide past them, protecting their calm. Now, here's something people rarely expect. Taurus has a temper, a powerful one. You might not believe it if you've only seen their gentle side. But when Taurus is pushed too far, when their limits are broken, their anger is like an earthquake, quiet at first, then unstoppable. For a long time, they hold back, they stay patient, they give warnings in silence. But if someone betrays them, humiliates them, or takes them for granted one too many times, they explode. And that explosion is not wild or chaotic, it's precise, it's sharp, it's deliberate. Taurus knows exactly how to make you realize what you've done. They know how to leave an impact that doesn't fade. Why does this happen? Because Taurus hates losing control. Their entire life is built around maintaining inner stability. But when someone shatters that foundation, they fight back, not to hurt, but to protect what's left. Have you ever seen someone who's usually calm suddenly break? The person who never speaks up, suddenly telling you everything they've held inside. That's Taurus reaching their limit. And when it happens, people remember. That's why many fear Taurus anger, because it's rare, but unforgettable. This brings us to something softer, something beautiful. While Taurus holds storms inside, they also carry a deep love for the simple joys of life. Colors, nature, good food, pleasant places. These are not small details for them. They're a sanctuary, a way to heal, to ground themselves. After a hard day, Taurus doesn't chase noise. They seek comfort, a walk in the park, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of a favorite meal. These little things aren't luxuries to Taurus, they're necessities, ways to reconnect with themselves when the world feels too heavy. Maybe you do this too, without realizing. Maybe you find peace in cooking a quiet meal, or sitting near the ocean, just listening to the waves. That's Taurus energy working through you, the power of reconnecting with the earth, of reminding yourself that, even in chaos, simple things can heal. This isn't about avoiding problems, it's about recharging. Taurus teaches us that sometimes peace isn't found in fixing everything. It's found in slowing down, breathing, touching the world with your senses, allowing nature, colors, flavors, and beauty to remind you that life is still good. So next time you feel lost, overwhelmed, or burned out, do what Taurus does. Find a quiet corner. Let beauty find you again. And from that small, quiet moment, start rebuilding your strength. But we're not done yet, because the final 3 insights about Taurus will reveal their deepest secrets, the things they hide even from themselves, and perhaps the truths that explain why Taurus is one of the most misunderstood yet powerful signs of all. Stay with me. What's coming next might change the way you see them forever. Now, imagine someone walking into a party, not to network, not to show off, but simply to find the snack table. That's Taurus. While others chase conversations or try to become the center of attention, Taurus moves quietly toward what brings them comfort. Good food, a cozy corner, a space where they can just be. It's not that they dislike people, it's just that their joy comes from simple pleasures, the taste of something delicious, the feeling of calm. While the world spins fast, Taurus knows how to slow down. And maybe that's what we all need more of. In life, we're often told to push harder, talk more, shine brighter. But Taurus teaches us something else. Sometimes, happiness isn't about chasing, it's about allowing, about finding joy in a good meal, a soft blanket, a peaceful evening. So next time you're at a party and you feel overwhelmed, maybe don't force yourself into the crowd. Maybe find your own quiet happiness instead. But here's something people rarely see coming. Taurus, the calm one, the steady one, can cause real chaos when pushed too far. Their anger is not loud from the start. It simmers, it waits, and when it finally breaks free, it shakes everything around them. Unlike those who express frustration every day, Taurus holds it in. They try to handle everything silently until they can't. And when that moment comes, people notice. Because the Taurus you knew, the one who kept the peace, now demands to be heard. Their fury is not reckless, it's controlled, but powerful. They say the right words that cut deep. They make decisions that can't be reversed. This isn't a moment of weakness. It's a line being drawn, a limit being enforced. After too many betrayals, too many ignored warnings, Taurus stops protecting your feelings and starts protecting their own. This may sound harsh, but it's necessary. It's how they remind the world that even the calmest hearts have limits. Even the kindest souls need boundaries. And if you've ever experienced the silent buildup of resentment, maybe you understand that moment too. It's not rage, it's release. Taurus doesn't want to fight, but if forced to, they'll make sure it's a fight no one forgets. And now, we reach the deepest truth. Taurus might be crumbling inside, and you'd never know. They could be struggling, losing faith, falling apart. But they'll still smile, still show up, still carry themselves like nothing's wrong. It's not because they're heartless, it's because showing weakness terrifies them. Vulnerability feels dangerous. Taurus believes that if people see their pain, they'll lose control of their own life. So they hide it behind their steady hands, their quiet voice, their calm eyes. But inside, the storm rages. And maybe you've done this too. Maybe you've kept your struggles hidden, pretending you're fine when you're not. If so, you're carrying Taurus energy, even if you're not a Taurus yourself. Here's the truth. Carrying pain alone doesn't make you stronger. Taurus believes it does, but even they need moments to let someone in, to allow someone to say, you don't have to do this alone. So, if you know a Taurus, check on them. Gently, patiently. Not by asking if they're okay, but by reminding them you're there, even when they pretend they're fine. And if you are a Taurus, maybe this is your reminder. It's safe to let someone see the real you, not just the strong you, but the hurting you too. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, what have we learned? Taurus isn't just a zodiac sign, it's a way of living, a quiet power, a steady heart, a soul that fights for peace, even when the world feels like war. They love deeply, hurt silently, and protect their hearts like precious treasure. Maybe you see yourself in these words, or maybe you see someone you love. Either way, remember this: strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's calm, it's steady, it's hidden, and that is Taurus. If this video touched something inside you, if you saw yourself or someone you care about, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. There's so much more to explore, so many hidden stories waiting to be told, and I promise, in the next videos, we'll dive even deeper into the human heart, into the hidden mind, and maybe into your own story. I'll see you there.